Hello and a very warm welcome to the Insider Essay, your guide to living better. Join us today as we open up to new experiences with 7-year-old New York model Aria De Chiccis discovering her South African roots. Kurt Darren, Refentse Morake and Brendan Peyper strike songwriting gold in the hills of Mpumalanga. DJ Kriya Gangiah steps out of her studio and into the wardrobe of her dreams. To small-town boy Taun Visser, filmmaking opens a world of new experiences. A 70s Karoo farmhouse is reborn in the hands of architect Jan Sauer Lambrechts and designer Phillip Van Staden. And keep watching for your chance to win a custom crocheted masterpiece by Phillip, valued at 10,000 Rand. If ever someone grabbed new experiences fearlessly and with both hands, it's Jacaranda FM's Kriya Gangiah. Since she got behind a radio mic in her teens, she's become a television presenter, acted in film, been a radio producer, and started her own media company.
Hi, I'm Kriya Gangiah and welcome to Insider Essay. I have a busy day planned just for you, so let's get started. I got into radio presenting at quite a young age. I actually went to the University of Pretoria just to go start at their radio station. It was kind of something different for me. I love entertaining people. I loved, when I was younger, being on stage and acting. And I thought radio was a great way to connect with people. So I started at the campus radio station, and from there it just started snowballing and the love grew.
In a steady personal relationship for 11 years now, the only rival Kriya's partner must contend with is her love for radio.
So when I started at the campus radio station, I was 17 years old, the youngest person on air, which has subsequently been broken. Being so young, being on air at 2 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't drive myself. So my dad had to drop and pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, which was great. We bonded. I learned how to drive very quickly after that. But it was a really great experience, trying to find myself at 17 and then still entertain 1 million people every time you turn on the mic was a real growing experience.
Having played water polo nationally, today this natural competitor hosts a hit Formula One podcast.
Growing up in a household that was always full of guys, because I'm the only female cousin in our family, it meant that we always watched football or rugby, tennis, Formula One even. And that's kind of what sparked my interest in it. I mean, shouting at each other on the couch on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday evening was always the best.
When she isn't busy hosting motoring shows, Kriya runs a digital media agency and fashion features strongly in the content she creates. This has brought her into contact with another pair of successful self-starters in Karina Lowe and Natasha Jam.
So the reason I love coming to Milner Fashion House is it's more than just fashion. It's also a B&B and they make some amazing food. So let's go meet Karina and Natasha.
So Karina and I established AIR back in 2013 when we first entered the SA Fashion Week Reno New Talent competition. And since then, our main aim has always been to give women a sense of power through the way they dress. So it's really providing women with a size-inclusive wardrobe that complements their unique lifestyle, makes them feel good, makes them feel comfortable and confident when they are wearing an AIR dress.
The inspiration for their studio came from a love of fashion museums. And here you can learn about mohair, other fabrics they use, and their processes.
Here are two of our looks from this autumn-winter collection that we're showcasing for the season. As you can see, we've used the technique where we use the off-cut fabrics that we've cut into small circles and stitched onto the garments. And even though the two looks, they look quite different because it's the same technique of using the off-cut circles, but because it's different fibers, they have got a different look.
As you can see here, we use the off-cut circles to create layers and textures. This is part of the fun of what we do, is experimenting to save fabric essentially and to create beautiful, bold new silhouettes. So this is the fun part where you can just experiment and stitch to create a new garment.
At once sheer, feminine and powerful, these creations are a natural fit for friend of the brand, Kriya.
what Natasha and Karina have created is a brand that is flattering towards women. Doesn't matter what shape you are, if you're tall, if you're short, a little bit of a bigger hip, whatever the case may be, is every single one of their outfits work for you. I started modeling when I was really young. My mom decided that it would be a way for me to kind of learn deportment. So I think the earliest one I remember is I did a couple of magazine catalogs when I must have been about 4 or 5 years old.
Being so much in the public eye is an opportunity for Miss Gangiah to proudly represent local fashion.
So I love mixing Indian style with a little bit of Western. And when it comes to getting a beautiful dress like this, it's bright yellow, I'll doll it up with a little bit of Indian accessories, maybe a headpiece or big bangles, just to kind of give it that extra Indian sparkle.
To stay in shape, Kriya eats healthily, including trout, which she catches herself, and sushi. But Chef Sithole was going to have her prepare her own.
Chef Robbie, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Priya?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good.
What are we making today?
Today we're making some sushi. Have you made sushi before?
I actually haven't made sushi, so I'm quite excited about this.
Okay, today you are in the right place. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a challenge, okay? So we're gonna make a nice California rolls.
Challenge accepted. I think I'm gonna watch you and then I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take a bit of my rice there, put it on our nourish sheet, spread it all over. So now you need to cover all of this seaweed with your rice. So we're gonna put some sesame seeds on top of our sushi before we can roll it. Why am I putting my hands on this side? So that my ingredients cannot fall over.
Okay, now I'm a little bit scared. All right, so I've never actually made sushi before, but I'm gonna give it a go. It's not something obviously I make. When it comes to my food, it's more Indian, biryanis, or something, you know, a little bit different to this.
The lady is an avid cook, baker, as well as being masterful at household DIY. While her oven skills were of no use here, her practical side was.
Wow.
Well, that was easy.
That was really easy. But now I'm really impressed with your work. I'm really impressed.
Chef.
Then we can go.
Kriya considers her greatest achievement to be seeing her business employ and grow fellow South African women, though she was quite proud of those California rolls.
Sushi is served.
Oh, Kriya made all of this sushi.
And I brought some bubbles just in case the sushi's not good. I'm joking.
I enjoy this little fashion sandwich that's wrapped like a parcel with a little bow on top.
Very
It's quite
cute.
unique.
Beautiful packaging.
No, thanks to Kriya.
I didn't make all of it, but I did make some of it. I mean, we're all busy people. It's nice to sit back, take a load off, enjoy some bubbles, some good conversations. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.
The talented Miss Gangiah has a new motoring show in the works. But by setting out to meet with new experiences each day, Kriya attracts the best of life to her. And there can be fewer better ways to live. Coming up, the hills of Mpumalanga are alive with the music of Kurt Darren, Refentse Morake and Brendan Peyper.
Ja, ek is op jou spoor. Op jou spoor, ek kan jou nie verloor nie.
The Rolling Stones had their Caribbean studio, but for Afrikaans artists Kurt Darren, Refentse Morake and Brendan Peyper, their new writing experience had to begin in a spectacular corner of Africa.
Welcome guys to Himkumazi Game Reserve and I hope you have a wonderful week.
So Andre, baie dankie man, dit gaan 'n fantastiese week wees. En ek wil net sê ek het vir Refentse en vir Brendan genooi want hulle is so lief vir die Bosveld. They absolutely love the wildlife, bushveld, and we know we're going to be creative here, guys.
Ja. Welcome to Himkumazi.
Cheers guys.
Cheers. Cheers, Karoo.
Cheers.
If this luxury tented camp was a song, it would be a perfect harmony of the hills of Imanzana, Mpumalanga, and the sound of the Komati River coursing through the heart of it.
People always ask me, why do I love Himkumazi Private Game Reserve, and this is one of the many, many reasons. This is one of the family suites. Let me show you around. The finishes are amazing. I've been to many, many lodges. This one is really, really special. My family and I have spent many, many hours in this plunge pool with a bottle of champagne, out the bath, a bubble bath early in the morning. You can't better that. And of course, you've got the whole Himkumazi Game Reserve in front of you. This place is really, truly amazing.
Being surrounded by the bird song of 300 different species was a fine start for a weekend of writing.
My name is Refentse Morake. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Vereniging in the Vaal Triangle, 016 represent. I'm a singer-songwriter and also your friendly neighborhood Black Afrikaner. I write Afrikaans music, especially Afrikaans adult contemporary. And yeah, this is what I do. Oh my goodness. Look at this room. Oh my Odin. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, this is glamping on steroids. This is gonna be an absolute fantastic weekend. I cannot wait. I think music has just always been a part of me. It's always been something that's been a big part of my life. You know, growing up in South Africa, you grow up in a family that's musical or not, but either way, there's so much music in the country and there's so much music in our cultures that you are forever surrounded by it, whether your parents are musical or not. When I was, I think, 5 years old, I went to an Afrikaans preschool, and that's where I started learning the Afrikaans language, and I totally got besotted to this language. I really just fell in love with it and its culture and everything that comes with it, and eventually I fell in love with music in this language, and yeah, I find it a language prudent to express myself the best.
Earlier this year, Brendan released his single Stop die Wêreld, Ek wil afklim, and this felt just the place to pen a follow-up.
So the way I started doing music was at the age of 5. I was handed a guitar by my granddad, and luckily for me, my whole family was musical, so it wasn't that difficult for me to pick it up through the family tree. So me, Refentse and Kurt met at Karoo. I think Karoo 3 was about 6,000 to 7,000 people on one night. Kurt was the one guy that came and calmed the nerves a bit down, just told me everything's gonna be all right, just stick to your guns. And Refentse was that guy that I knew from Facebook, who just went viral, singing a cover from Bok van Blair.
For art that really rocks, head guide Gerard van der Westhuizen shared some work by some of South Africa's earliest artists.
Welcome to one of the best areas we have for rock art on our properties. This site I enjoy the most because it tells the best story. So this is a ritual story. So the shaman is like the spiritual guide. And if he needs to go into the spiritual realm, they go into it as an animal form. And then the color comes from ochre. So ochre you find in the stone. So we'll collect the ochre, they will grind it in a grindstone. So you see this beautiful yellow color. And they add this with eland fat of the blood, and then they'll use a paintbrush and then paint it on the rocks.
Hoping their art is appreciated by generations to come, the guys joined their recording team to capture some magic.
So Aaron, if you had to melt our three styles together, you've got Refentse doing his storytelling and fun songs. You've got Brendan doing the fun songs, and he's got a couple of deep things as well. And you've got me, the party oak, with a couple of deep songs. And you had to melt us all together in one pot. What kind of song would you suggest?
I think it would be something that can work kind of a braai, maybe in the bush as well. Yeah. So kind of fun, but a little bit unplugged as well. I found Kurt through a demo that he sent to our record company in the late 90s. And we loved his tone in his voice. At the time, he sang ballads. And we decided to sign him to Select Musiek. One thing about Kurt is, as he grew in the industry, he always surrounded himself with people, and he loves young talent. And I take my hat off to Kurt because he loves sharing his experiences with other artists, and he loves working with young talent and contributing a little bit to what they do and sharing his experiences.
And I think it'll be cool if someone comes up with a melody. Just start going and the rest you fall in. If you think you got something to add or whatever, Just say, burning fast. Yeah, I like it. Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. Na, 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 to take me home.
Critical to any creative process is being able to walk away and return refreshed. Where better than here?
You know, I remember them talking about this guy singing Afrikaans songs at the car. And he got on the stage, just blew everyone away, and then suddenly you were awarded with an awesome record contract.
That was insane, and it's been a gas ever since. Yeah, it's been a crazy time. It was such an honor to be able to sing at a festival where there's so much talent and there's so many musicians, and a record company sees you and they see you picking up your hand and like, this boy is ours, we're taking him. And also to meet the other artists and to learn from them, that was such an exhilarating experience. I think, yeah, I couldn't have chosen a better company family to be in.
Currently a highly popular mentor on a local singing show, Refentse appreciated this time out from the public gaze.
The significance of coming to a place like this and unwinding and just being self, getting away from all the cameras and the light and the stage and the smoke machines. It's so cool to just really become human again and just be me. Nobody's faffing, nobody's elevating me for no reason. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to have that as a refresh. It's good to have that actually to build reference, because if 1,000 people tell you how amazing you are every night, quite easy to lose your head if you haven't got character. Yeah, it's really insanely important to stick to you and to stick onto your goals and your dreams and ambitions. And of course, while you're doing that, it's the most important thing is to rest and catch a little yellow fish. You know what I mean?
So advice that I'd give to guys like Refentse and Brendan, look, they've been around for at least 6-7 years already, so they're on the right path and their careers are moving in the right path. And I like mixing with people that are like-minded, you know, they're treating their careers professionally but having fun at the same time. You can see both those guys are having fun. And that's what I've tried to do my whole entire life, just have fun and make people smile.
Hierdie sal my eerste vang wees. Yes! Oh yeah! Wow. Hoeveel dink julle weeg ek hier? Wat is dit? 200 kilogram. Wat dink julle?
Ek dink hy's so 400. Ek dink jy moet trots wees op jou vis.
Ek is belaglik trots op. I set you free. My first fish. Super exciting. This is paradise.
Brendan wrote the song Macy's Saucier on the weekend and just released it to a very warm reception. While on the night, with the Boma fitting only a small audience, they shared a gem they'd written together.
In die somer soek ons water. In die somer soek ons son. In die somer kuier te later. In die somer tot die son opkom. In die somer. In die somer tot die son opkom. Something like it.
And here's to the next hit, born around this burning ring of fire. Right after this, to 7-year-old New York model Aria De Chiccis, the ostrich run beats the catwalk hands down. New York's catwalks are a second home to young Aria De Chiccis, whose mother, Pam Mbatani, moved there in 2000. Pam got into fashion marketing, married Italian Stefano De Chiccis, and this is her and Aria's first trip back in 3 years.
So her fashionista journey began when I used to take her to New York Fashion Week. She was only 1 year old. And the cameras will come and take her photos because everybody loved her style, how I used to style her. So that's how it began.
So about my style is I love poofy dresses I love all type of clothes that are unique, beautiful, and chic, because every time I see an outfit, I'm like,
Pam doesn't worry about what her child will be in the future. She is already someone today, as you can tell in these outfits by designer Etta, with Pam wearing Jacques Lagrange.
Etta is a South African designer, and she made this beautiful dress for her. It's fun and glamorous, but also very chic.
Aria's grandmother, Maggie Mbatani, had the skills to be a designer, and she's delighted to see her granddaughter making a name for herself in the fashion world.
I'm so happy. I'm very, very happy to be with them in the photo.
A glam memento of time with her mom and gran beat even the billboard campaigns she's done for the biggest retailers.
Bringing Aria to South Africa to learn about her roots, it's always been very important for me because she has to know where she comes from. I'm from Cape Town, but I'm from a township of Nyanga, so I would like her to see that, to see where I come from. I don't want her to only know the glitz and glamours of Manhattan where we live, so I want her to go to see where I come from, to see my humble beginnings. Hopefully, by seeing that, she will also understand where you come from doesn't determine where you're going.
I love about South Africa because there's lots of animals, and I love animals, and I love that I get to see my family. And once, when I was 5, I think, or 4, I fed the elephant.
Before the pandemic, yearly trips back were filled with new experiences. And on this one, the art-loving Miss De Chiccis got to exercise her full creative skill set, building her own bear.
Hi, Candyland.
Hello, welcome to Build a Bear. Are we building a bear today? Awesome! So, this is where it all starts. This is called the Choose Me Station. So come and have a look.
The amazing thing about Build-A-Bear is that the whole experience is centered around the guest. Everything from start to finish is all interactive. So the guests get to choose a bear that they associate with, give it their personality, and best of all, get to take it home with them.
I chose this one because my favorite color is pink and blue and purple. I love the way her eyes glow a little, and I love the way she smiles.
So this is where we're going to fill your furry friend full of fluff and love. Okay.
Aria recently did some voiceover work for a global children's TV channel, and with all this fluffing done, she got to use those talents to lend her creation a voice.
Beautiful. Okay, so you got the 10-second windows. Go.
Hello, Aria.
Are we ready to hear?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a listen.
Hello, Aria.
Hey! There we go. So that is going to go inside your furry friend. And now we're going to stitch her up and get her an outfit.
Yay! I love the boots. The first time I saw the boots, I was like, yeah, I want the boots. The jacket, it has sequins and it's rainbow. And I love how over here, the sleeve part, it has turquoise blue. It shines a little.
So congratulations, Aria, on becoming a parent today. This is yours to hold on to. Look how cute that is.
This was good training for a 7-year-old who wants to be an astronaut, meet and design outfits for aliens. But first, some close encounters of the feathery kind.
My name is Shepherd Chakanaka. I'm a tourist guide on the Cape Town Ostrich Ranch. Okay, we got the ostriches and some emus, but my favorites are the ostriches, which we interact with them on the daily basis. I like the ostriches because of their behavior mostly. If you compare them with the other animals, they are not aggressive animals, which I think that's why I love them the most. Do you know how to tell the difference between a boy and a girl ostrich?
I don't know.
You look on the color of their feathers.
Oh,
So the one with the black feathers, that is a boy. The gray ones are the girls.
For all that Pam has accomplished, she credits Aria as her greatest achievement, especially when watching her daughter do things she only dreamt of as a child.
It's very special, it's great. I mean, to bring her back to where I grew up and to create all these memories together is really amazing.
And wonderful.
Oh, okay, and wonderful.
So you put a little bit of feed at a time, you come and stand very close, and then you keep her flat.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So you have to stand this
More
side.
closer.
Closer. Get closer.
Oh,
You see now they're coming to you. Get closer.
Being so close to the ostrich, in the beginning, I didn't really want to feed it, but I ended up feeding it in the back, and I was comfortable with it, and it was so fun feeding it. So in the beginning, they were
With Aria's dad being from Italy, that's where they spend the summer. But only here do you get this close to the world's biggest bird, standing 2.5 meters tall in his socks.
Okay, do your hand this side, you hold on my hand, you put your leg over there, sit completely, and then you remember stroking his neck gently. You can even hug his neck. There we go.
so soft. I always like to sit around an ostrich. It was amazing. I get to pet it. It was so soft. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, the little ostrich. In the morning, we will do it again.
A world away in Manhattan, Aria's 3 agents are lining up fashion castings, voice work, and auditions.
We are going to New York next week, so Aria is on hold for a few modeling jobs, and she has auditions coming up, and we're back to work. We go back to New York and we're back to work.
I'm back to my normal life in an amazing place in a boring house.
Yeah, New York can never be boring. You have so much to do.
Yeah.
And it says everything about this young star that a dusty day out with the ostriches in her mom's hometown means as much as her fabulous life in Manhattan. Just ahead, this reimagined Karoo farmhouse boasts fields of flowers, all autumn, winter, spring, and summer. The Northern Cape Karoo near Britstown is an experience like few others, and sharing it with visitors from across the country and the world is an honor for architect Jan Sauer Lambrechts. Jan studied in the city, but has done many projects back home, and his most recent is a love letter to the countryside of his childhood.
The big love for the Karoo is in my genes. I was born and raised here, and if you drink the Karoo water once, you always come back. A few years back, we bought the property and started renovating the house thereafter. Dit was 'n tipiese 70s-styl huis geweest wat ons omskep het om dit bietjie meer modern te maak. Ons wou nie te veel verander het van die boustyl nie, maar tog moderne elemente inbring. Die hele huis is oorspronklik waarvan slegs 'n paar deure ingebreek is om dit groter oop te maak en 'n natuurlike vloei deur te bring.
Jan used stone cladding both indoors and out for a consistent look and painted all window frames black to modernize without major renovations. The Karoo being famously chilly in winter, fireplaces in the bedrooms, living areas, dining room and kitchen were a must.
Wat ons gedoen het om die aandag weg te trek van hierdie ingesinkte area is om hierdie groot hangligte te hang om die hele tema deur te trek deur die hele space. These lovely big lights are made out of woven steel and then they can push in and push out the way that you want to form them.
A good eye for previously loved pieces has created a genuinely homely feel.
Meeste van die meubels in die huis is by veilings gekoop, so dit gee vir jou hierdie ingeleefdheid gevoel, die reg deur die huis. Maar ek hou tog daarvan om oud met nuut te kombineer om vir jou hierdie gevoel te skep. For this color scheme, we used a lot of rich colors like the oranges, the mustards, and combining them with black, which is very beautiful and modern for this specific space.
Removing indoor walls and doors allows a natural ease of movement.
Vir ons as 'n gesin is dit baie belangrik om lekker in die middag saam te kan eet en daarom het ons hierdie groot lang tafel waar ons almal kan saam sit en dit om die tafel geniet.
The open access from dining room to kitchen makes the house cool in summer and warm in winter.
Omdat hierdie 'n ou Karoo plaashuis is dit maar klein, maar ons het 'n lekker groot kaggel hier ingebou om atmosfeer te skep en word ook gebruik om kos op te maak. So dit is 'n lieflike element vir hierdie plaashuis. Like most houses built in the 70s, they had the upper cupboards and the lower cupboards. What we did is we removed the upper cupboards and only left the floating shelves to give it a more modernized look. Another great feature of the 70s is these beautiful slash stone floors, which we kept to keep it in touch with the old meeting the new.
With each of the bedrooms opening onto the stoep, the light breeze ensures no aircon is needed from November to March. If this reimagining took 9 months to complete, a fair share of that went into meticulous attention to fabrics, finishes, and every piece of decor looking like it belongs.
Met die huis wat 3 slaapkamers het, is hierdie my gunsteling een. This is one of the heirlooms that's passed down from generation to generation to me. This is actually a dining sideboard, which I used as a bedroom side table. Another beautiful feature of this room is these big, oversized hanging lamps next to the bed and over the feature stool sitting here in front of the fireplace. This beautiful ornate golden mirror I placed in here to create the depth and the mood of the bedroom. Each of the bedrooms have one of these bespoke bed linen throws, which Phillip Van Staden made. It brings so much personality to the room.
Before becoming Jan's official textile designer, Phillip Van Staden was a biology teacher in China who suddenly could not return there when COVID landed in early 2020. So, needing to create a new job for himself, he crocheted one.
This is quite a new hobby, became a work for me. And ongelukkig het ek nie veel tegniese eienskappe van my pa geërf nie, maar ek is baie dankbaar oor die wat ek by my oumas geërf het. Dit was baie lekker. Wat my baie fascineer van waarmee ek besig is en ek leer al hoe meer en meer daarvan, is die teksture van natuurlike stowwe. Soos hierdie is nou Angora, handgeweef. Van hulle is gebleik, van hulle is nie gebleik nie. Hierdie grove ene is merino en dan sommer die katoen. Ek het hier calico katoen gebruik wat ook baie natuurlik is, wat so 'n eerlike materiaal is om mee te werk. Maar ek dink as jy 'n goeie kunstenaar is, kan jy ook kunsmatige stowwe inkorporeer sodat dit net bydra tot die tekstuur daarvan en nie oordonderend die kunswerk oorheers nie. Wat ek maak is ek volg my hande. Sodra ek 'n opdrag gekry het vir 'n kliënt wat ek 'n spesifieke ding moet maak, dan gaan grou ek in my boks om te kyk wat ek het. Want ek is in die Karoo en ons kan nie gou Durban toe ry of Bloemfontein toe of Kaapstad toe of Johannesburg toe. So ek moet begin grou en kyk wat ek het en van daar af begin ek maak. Ek maak baie van hulle sonder dat ek die vertrek gesien het of die feel van die plek gekry het. En wat wonderlik is waar Jan Sauer se talent inkom en hoe hy my produk gebruik, Ek staan partykeer voor haar bed en kan nie glo ek het dit gemaak en net die manier waarop hy dit gebruik het. Hierdie was nou in 'n beplanningsfase en nie geweet waarheen dit gaan nie, maar kom ek gaan wys vir julle een wat ek wel tot op die einde toe deurgedruk het.
These unframed masterpieces are a direct reflection of the local landscape and seasons.
Hierdie is gedoen op 'n cotton linen mix. Hierdie was, ek dink so net na die middel van die somer, toe al die kleure vol in blom was, het ek hierdie lekker helder wolle gevat en begin hekel. Hierdie was die eerste een wat ek begin hekel het. Die agtergrond is 'n linne katoen mengsel, albei natuurlike stowwe. En nou wat vir my ook baie lekker is, ek hou daarvan om die tekstiele te kleur, wat natuurlik heeltemal 'n uitdaging op sy eie is. Hierdie het ek besluit, hy was eers 'n roomkleur, and then I thought maybe midnight blue will do in this room. What I also must show you is this cushion. I'm a very big recycle person, so I can't throw a thing away, and this is all little pieces of rags collected over a period of time. And then what is interesting about this one, Jan Sauer told me I want mustard color, and to get a good mustard color dye is not very easy. So I thought I would take all the masalas and curries and cook it for a while. I think if you can smell it, you're still going to get that spicy feeling in this pillow.
The unusual finishing is a signature of these pieces.
Wat ek probeer doen is, ek probeer glad nie 'n trend follow nie. Ek wil dit so tydloos as moontlik maak. Ek sal daarvan hou en ek sal baie trots wees daarop as Jan Sauer se kleinkinders beklei oor wat hulle wil erf. Wat ek heeltyd in gedagte het is not following a trend, timeless and honest. As you can see, some of the yarn is not tucked away or removed because I must honor the product I'm working with and keep it as natural and spontaneous as possible.
Working with thick farmhouse walls, Jan found it essential to allow the rooms to breathe. And he had the perfect answer.
One of the design features which we added to the house was the wraparound stoop and these doors opening up onto the stoop, giving a small bedroom like this a sense of space. Met die Karoo diep in my are, sal ek die Karoo met 'n swaar hart ooit moet verlaat. Ek is mal oor die Karoo bring 'n gevoel van emosie uit my uit. En dit leer jou om van niks iets te kan maak en dit is so eg aan die Karoo wat my so na in die hart lê.
If you're planning a new experience, you can't go wrong here at Twyfelberg. To stand a chance of winning a custom crocheted masterpiece by Phillip Van Staden, tell us what you love most about the Karoo using #TheInsiderSA. Still to come, small town beginnings, a camera, laptop and spirit of adventure make for a thriving film career.
Sponsored by Capitec. Simplify banking. Live better.
If you have an appetite for the different, new, unexplored and extraordinary, then one way to indulge that taste while also making a living from it is to become what this young, intrepid entrepreneur has.
Hey, what's up guys? We're over here at the most southern tip of Africa in Cape Agulhas. So my name's Taun Visser. I'm a filmmaker and photographer based in Cape Town at the moment, and this is my girlfriend Ems.
I'm Amy McConnell and I'm a digital marketer.
If we only stick to highways, we miss the hundreds of historic small towns and weekend escapes like Agulhas. Known as the Cape of Needles for its rocky coast, the accommodation at Agulhas Rest Camp thankfully offers softer landings.
Ooh, this is sick. Well, the sunset here is probably going to be nice.
This is so beautiful.
For Taun, bringing this content to the world is what he does. He already owns his own production company, creating ads, music, videos, and more.
So I started filmmaking at a really young age. Dropped out of school when I was 16 and started homeschooling for a year. And then during that homeschooling process, I fell in love with filmmaking through skateboarding. So me and my friends would always film us skating and document that, and then I fell way more in love with the process of making videos and how much fun that was. I'm from a town called Porterville, which is a very tiny farming town, and I come from a big family of 6, very loving, supporting family, hence why they let me leave school when I was 16 and really supported it. The most challenging part for me about this whole process is probably my age. I often don't let people know my age. That's just because in the industry people treat you a little bit differently when you're younger. I'm fully independent, so I'm not signed to another production company or something like that. So there's a lot of stress behind finding jobs and putting yourself out there. But also I feel like that's what makes me unique, is that I'm not assigned to anyone else's style or creativity, and everything I do is authentically created by me and my vision, which helped create the niche that I'm in right now. The advice I would give to someone who's trying to follow their dream is to find something you're super passionate about and make sure you're passionate about it and make sure you love it, because if you really love it, working hard is not a thing. You work hard effortlessly. Without the love for it, it's hard to get to the point where your dream becomes a reality. And when you're finding inspiration from your peers, try not to copy what they're doing. Find inspiration from it, take bits from it and add it to your own style. That way you will build up a niche and build up something that is your own true brand and your own authenticity. This cabin really feels like we're in the middle of nowhere, hey?
So
I mean, we actually are in the middle of nowhere. Can you hear the birds chirping?
Yes, I can.
Being a filmmaker in South Africa is honestly a luxury. I think it really motivates me to go outside and really explore South Africa. And even after multiple years of exploring, I still discover new places like Cape Agulhas. And I really highly motivate everyone to just get outside and explore South Africa and go discover these new places waiting for you.
Because so much trade once sailed past here, with the rocky coastline wrecking 150 ships, a lighthouse had to be built, and Taun was keen to capture the story.
So as a filmmaker, I'm usually shooting either sunrise or sunset, and then throughout the day just busy with admin and editing, and then most evenings editing as well, just to get as many hours in the day as possible. And even on days like today where we're resting and out and about, I need to have my laptop with me to be able to stop somewhere and have a little edit session. Things like banking is a really inconvenience, such as going to the bank and waiting in the line. So much time in your day wasted where you could just be out and about doing what you're doing. And with the Capitec app, I can literally whip out my phone right now and sign up and get myself all logged in and ready to go without having to go into the bank. And even here at the southernmost tip of Africa, I can whip out my phone and open up an account.
Once the app is downloaded, you've taken a selfie and entered your personal details to open your account. Even if you live in a lighthouse, Capitec will deliver your card to your door.
The history of this lighthouse goes back nearly 200 years. It is the third built lighthouse in Africa and the second on the South African coast after Greenpoint. The 71 steps is actually nice, it's good exercise, and the lighthouse is 30 meters above sea level. You'll see the red and white stripe, so that is your day mark, and also like false windows on the southern side. During the night, you have the light, and the light turns every 5 seconds. So that is your cue. If you already pass other lighthouses, then you know this is the Cape Agulhas lighthouse. The light extends between 50 and 70 miles out to sea, and it's a special landmark on the southern tip of Africa.
The lighthouse experience was super cool. The stairs were a little bit hectic getting to the top, but once we were at the top, we saw some amazing views, so it was totally worth it.
As are the famous rides along the wild beaches of S3EP31. For 22 years, Chanel Davids and John Dave Horse Rides have rescued horses and run riding adventures from here.
So last activity for the day, we are gonna end off the day with a beautiful sunset ride with these beautiful horses out here in S3EP31, all along the beach, and it's gonna be an amazing experience. I have ridden a horse before, way back. It's actually a funny story. My last time riding a horse, it ran away with me and I had to run after the horse, and that was my experience. It was pretty traumatic, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I love the nerves. It's gonna be exciting. And I really trust that their horses nice and tame, and they look beautiful, so it's gonna be fun.
For someone who grew up in a landlocked farming town, beaches and oceans are playing an increasing role in Taun's career.
The future for me as a filmmaker, at the moment in a month's time we'll be off to Bali to do some jobs up there, and then I'm also currently busy with an international documentary, which unfortunately I can't talk about, but it's going to be amazing. You can look out for it. Our day in the Goddess has been absolutely amazing, super unexpected. I had no idea what I was coming to, but it turned out to be an amazing day. My highlight of the day was definitely riding the horses on the beach. I'll definitely be back for that.
To every blogger, vlogger or filmmaker out there with the dream of making your own way by creating your own content, you can work and live better with Capitec. Start by telling us what little-known place you'd like the world to know about for a chance to win R1,000. Simply reply to the competition post on the Insider SA's social media platforms using #LiveBetter. T's and C's apply and can be found on the Insider SA website.
Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.